أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين آمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ya Ahlul Quran, I hope and pray that you all are in the best state of health and increasing state of Iman. Ameen. Alhamdulillah. So in yesterday's class we completed a topic called as Tanween, where we double the harakas which are on the letters, right? Doubling those harakas is actually that we are adding nun sakin in the place of that one haraka. There are two fatha, two dhamma, two kasra. That doesn't mean we are stretching the letters for two count, but the another fatha, dhamma and kasra extra added there is actually a nun sakin. Okay, so if you see any letter carrying fathatan, dhammatan, kasratan, that is two fatha, two kasra and two dhamma, then remember that another fatha, dhamma, kasra is noon sakin, and that is how we will pronounce the letters carrying fathatan, dhammatan, kasratan by adding noon sakin. Okay, if you take an example of hamza carrying fatha, it is a, and if it has fathatan, that is two fatha, then it is an. The second fatha is actually nun sakin, and same thing with dhammatan and kasratan. Alhamdulillah, this is called as tanween. In which if you convert that into English, it is like noonation, adding noon sakina. Fine. And these letters carrying fathatan, dhammatan and kasratan will be present only at the end of the word. Okay, Alhamdulillah. The ruling is adding nun sakin and pronouncing all the heavy letters heavily and the light letters lightly, and it should not exceed one haraka. These are pronounced only for one haraka because actually these letters are carrying fatha, dhamma, kasra only with an extra addition of nun sakin, and so fatha, dhamma, kasra short vowels should be pronounced only for one haraka, and letter ra with fathatan and dhammatan is heavy, with kasratan it is light. Alhamdulillah, this is what we learned yesterday about tanween. Okay, today inshallah let's learn a new topic called as Shaddah or Tashdeed. Okay, fine, Alhamdulillah. What is Shaddah means? Shaddah means doubling of the letters. Okay, in last class what we saw is doubling of the haraka, but the second haraka was noon sakin, so don't confuse that and this. This is the doubling of the letters is called as Shaddah. Okay, we are doubling the letters, like one letter will become two now. That is called as Shaddah. Okay, how it is formed? Shaddah is formed by bringing together two of the same letters. Okay, two same letters will merge together and form one letter, and that one letter is indicated by a sign called Tashdeed. Okay, that sign just looks like a W. Okay, in this way, here it is. Fine, this is a sign of Shaddah. Fine, it is written like a small W. It will be always above the letter. This sign will be always above the letter. Okay, and two letters are in the same letter, and those two letters, the first letter will be sakin and the second letter will be mutaharrik. Okay, the first letter should always be sakin and the second will be mutaharrik. For example, first let's see the example of English. Okay, so that you will understand very well. If you take a word letter, okay, letter, here the first T is actually without vowel. If you just remove this let, okay, the first thing is let. This is T which has nothing, it is in sukoon state. Then the next T is having a haraka, right? This has a haraka, vowel, and so it is letter. Okay, but in English we just say letter by not emphasizing there, but while pronouncing the letters carrying shadda in Arabic we have to emphasize yani we have to give more strength on those letters. Okay, put more strength on those letters and pronounce those letters, their sound should emphasize. Alhamdulillah. Okay, but in that, just like I took an example of English, first will be in sakin and second will be in mutaharrik. For example, if this is a letter ba carrying fatha and also has tajdeed on it, then if you separate this, then it is ba with sakin and then ba with fatha. Okay, and if you take ba having standing fatha on it with tajdeed, then it is ba with sakin, then ba with standing fatha. What I mean to say is, if you see a letter carrying this tajdeed and any haraka on it, then remember the first thing in it is the sakin only, and the second letter is the haraka which it has. For example, if ba has dhamma and also tashdeed and also waw mad, then this ba with first is with sakin, then that ba is with dhamma and waw sakin. Okay, and the important thing is, just like we learned with sakin, no word in Arabic will start with sakin, right? No word in Arabic will start with sakin. There should be a mutaharrik letter before sakin. And now if you see about Shaddah, what we are learning is the first letter in the Shaddah is sakin, right? The first letter in the Shaddah is sakin, and that is why no Arabic word will start with Tashdeed on it. Okay, in few places you will see the words starting with a letter carrying Tashdeed, and that Tashdeed is due to idgham, which you will come to know inshallah when we learn Nun Sakin Tanween or idgham bain al huruf rulings. Okay, but remember, no Arabic alphabet, no Arabic words will start with Tashdeed. There should be a mutaharrik letter before it. It can be any mutaharrik letter. Okay, if we take an example of Hamza with Fatha, then we will recite this Hamza with Fatha and Ba Tashdeed with Fatha as Abba. Abba. Okay, what I mean to say is, you'll just have to emphasize the letter. Okay, if there are two letters in it, you have to not pronounce those two letters for two times, but you will have to pronounce that one single letters by emphasizing, by putting more stress on it, stressing those letters. Okay, put more stress on that letter, like abba, abba. And if ra has fatha on it with tajdeed, then there is hamza with fatha before it, then arra, arra, arra. In this way, we have to just emphasize the sound of that letter. Okay, we have to emphasize that letter. Few sisters had a question, just like when we separate this letter, the first thing which comes is sakin and then the letter with haraka. So can we recite the letters of qalqala with qalqala like abba? No, you cannot do that. Okay, if you see a word carrying fatha and then another word which is a letter of qalqala and you see it with tajdeed in this way, abba, you just cannot make it separate. You cannot separate, because in this tajdeed letter, that single letter which has two same letters in it has already been merged. Okay, it has merged completely, just like in English, this let and ter. You cannot pronounce this word letter as let-ter, right? You cannot say let-ter. You just have to merge those both T's. Same letters will be merged, right? If you take an example of any other letters like offer, offer, okay, you cannot first recite off, for, of, for. No, it is wrong. You will merge these two letters, right? In the same way, in Arabic also, the letters carrying tajdeed, which is called as mushaddad huruf, cannot separate. If you take an example of this ra, then you cannot just say ar, ra, ar, ra. This is wrong, because when you see tajdeed on a letter, that doesn't mean that they are separate. They have already merged and formed a single letter. So you will say ar-ra, ar-rahman, ar-ra. Okay, you'll understand it more better when you take an examples, inshallah. First, let me repeat all those things again. What is tajdeed? Tajdeed means doubling of the letters, and shaddah means to emphasize. To emphasize on the letters is called as shaddah. Okay, the letters carrying tajdeed is called as mushaddad letters. Okay, like mim mushaddad, noon mushaddad, kaf mushaddad, lam mushaddad. In this way, just like for sakina, we said noon sakina, mim sakina, and here we'll say ba mushaddad, ta mushaddad, sa mushaddad. Okay, the sign is just like a W. Okay, it is just like a W. You can see what it indicates actually is the same two letters is being merged and formed into a one letter. Okay, fine, alhamdulillah. And what is actually in that single letter? There are two letters. For example, if you take a ra with tajdeed, then actually in this ra there are two letters, same. Both are also ra, but both are not in the state of harakat. They are not mutaharrik. The first is always sakin and second is always mutaharrik. What is the sign of the second letter? It is the haraka above the letters. For example, if ra is with dhamma and tajdeed, then second letter is dhamma. The first is always sakin only. So we pronounce it like arra, arra. We don't say arra, arra. It is wrong. Arra, emphasizing. Okay, so I took an example of English. That is a very easiest way to understand this. Alhamdulillah. For example, if you take another like A-P-P-L-E, apple, you don't just say apple, you don't say apple, you will just merge those two letters, right? In the same way, you cannot separate these tajdeed letters. If if there is tajdeed on a letter, you'll just emphasize its sound. You'll just say abba. You will not repeat like abba, abba. You'll not repeat both the words, both the letters. Fine. Same thing with the raw, all the Arabic alphabets. Inshallah, this is all about tajdeed. Now, inshallah, let's see that when the tajdeed is present on noon and meme, when tajdeed is added on noon and meme, then instead of emphasizing, we do gunna on them. Okay, we do gunna on them. That gunna is done by using our nasal cavity. And so now we are learning about the makhraj al-khayshum. Okay, in makhraj al-muhaqqaq, that is specific articulation points, we learn three articulation points: the lips, the throat and the tongue. Right, the lips, the throat and the tongue. And in the second makhraj al-muqaddar, the second category, the makhraj which is non-specific, the first thing which we learned was makhraj al-jawf, that is the empty space of our mouth where we pronounce the huruf al-mad. And the second is the nasal cavity, to which in English we called as al-khayshum. Okay, and that al-khayshum is nothing but nasal cavity, and we pronounce noon and meme with tashdeed by using our nasal cavity. Okay, as soon as you add tajdeed on noon and meme, they become noon, meme, mushaddad, right? Noon mushadda and meme mushadda, right? And these noon and meme are now pronounced by your nasal cavity. For example, if you take a letter, okay, here are the examples: fatha, hamza with fatha, then if you have meme mushaddad, that means there is first meme with sakin and then meme with fatha. Okay, how to pronounce this? The other letters we pronounce just by emphasizing, like abba, allah. Okay, in this way we just pronounce by emphasizing those letters. But here we will stretch the gunna for two count. We will do gunna for two haraka. What does two haraka means? Two count, just like alif mad, waw mad and ya mad. We are doing gunna for two haraka, like see, here while doing emphasizing the letters, we did it very fastly. We did not do like abba. This is wrong. Abba, abba. Okay, not for two haraka. Just touch the makhraj and emphasize there, and that is enough. Abba, abbi, abbu. But for meme and noon, we will have to emphasize for two count. That is by doing two haraka gunna. Anna. Okay, this emphasizing on noon by using your nasal cavity is called as gunna. Okay, that is nasalization of the letter noon and meme for two haraka, and this is done by using the nasal cavity, which is called as al-khayshum. That is a part of makhraj al-muqaddar. Okay, alhamdulillah, here are a few examples, inshallah. Let's learn this. Okay, this is abba, right? If we separate these things, it is like ab and ba, but we will not say ab by doing qalqal on ba. We'll merge those two letters and pronounce abba. Il and la, this la is actually huruf al mad now, but while emphasizing, we'll make it, while adding tajdeed, we'll merge both the lams and we'll make illa, illa. Now the lam is stretched for two haraka. Okay, hub plus ba, hubba. Okay, and here meme plus ma, See, for the other letters the timing was not so yani it was not so much, like it is not abba, allah, it is not for two haraka, it is just a little, just emphasize it like allah, abba, atta, atha, ajja, in this way. But when it comes to meme and noon, the gunna will be done for two haraka. Just remember this two count. The gunna on meme and noon is done for two haraka only. Okay, that is here ummi. But see ba with tajdeed, rabbi, rabbi. That's it. Will not say rabbi. Not so much emphasizing. The two haraka count of gunna is done only on meme and noon when it carries tajdeed. Alhamdulillah. Fine. Now inshallah, let's see these letters carrying tajdeed. Inshallah, we'll decide only with fatha. Tajdeed can come on any letter carrying any haraka. For example, if I take one letter ba, okay, ba, it tajdeed can come with fatha, dhamma, kasra, standing fatha, inverted dhamma, standing kasra, and also tanween, or like abban, abbin, abbun. Okay, just what you have to do is the first letter is sakin, then next is the mutaharrik. That mutaharrik letter, the second mutaharrik letter, can be long vowels, short vowels, tanween, or anything. Okay, but the first letter is always sakin, which is merging with the second letter, that is mutaharrik, then both together become a letter of tajdeed called as mushaddad. Fine, alhamdulillah, just emphasizing it. And also remember, no word will start with tajdeed. Okay, in Arabic no word will start with tajdeed, there should be a mutaharrik letter before it. And so in these examples, let's take hamza with fatha as a mutaharrik hurf and recite all these letters. Okay, how much haraka? It depends upon the letter, it depends upon the haraka which the letter is carrying. Now what we are seeing here is all the letters are carrying fatha, so only for one haraka. Stretching is only for one haraka by little emphasizing. Emphasize it a little, inshallah. And the second point is heavy letters are heavy here, lighter light here. Okay, and the letter ra with fatha, same thing, it depends upon the haraka which it has. Okay, if ra has fatha and dhamma, it is heavy. If it has kasra, it is light. If ra has alif and waw mad, it is heavy. With ya mad, it is light. Same thing with alif, waw and ya saghira, and also same thing with tanween. Okay, fathatan and dhammatan, it is heavy. With kasratan, it is light. It all depends upon the haraka which it has, which these letters carry. But the emphasizing should be clear. Okay, you cannot just recite it like aba, ata, asa, aja. It is wrong. Abba, atta, ajja, asa. Okay, in this way, the best example is ar-rahman. We don't say ar-rahman. Ar-rahman is wrong. Ar-Rahman, right? We just emphasize a little, not so much, not for one haraka also, not like ar, this is one haraka, not so much, just a little. Emphasize it only for a little time. That time cannot be just decided here, you'll just have to emphasize there. Okay, alhamdulillah. And another one very important topic is we're learning about the causes of lahnal jali. The last cause which we learnt was removing the shadda and adding the shadda is wrong. If you see any letter carrying shadda, removing its shadda is also wrong. Or if you just see a letter carrying no shadda, it just has a haraka, adding a shadda is also wrong. Okay, that can cause lahan al-jali. The best example is in English. This was without any shadda, this was without any doubling of the letter, but if you added, the meaning changed, right? And in the same way, if there is already a word with double letters in it, and if you remove one letter and then the meaning changed, right? In the same way, in Arabic also, if you add tajdeed or remove tajdeed, that can cause lahan al-jali. Fine, alhamdulillah. Now I'm going to recite all these alphabets carrying tajdeed and they have fatha on it, right? Alhamdulillah. Recite it only for one haraka because these are the letters carrying fatha, but emphasize it a little. when it comes to noon mushaddad and mim mushaddad, the gunna will be done for 2 haraka. Keep this in your mind, because removing Tashdeed is lehn al jali. If you don't do gunna, then you're doing lehn al jali there. Fine. The gunna on mim and noon when it has Tashdeed on it is compulsory. Fine. Okay. Now let's take hamza with fatha and recite all these letters. A, 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 a. Okay. Abba, atta, atta, atha, atha, ajja, ajja, aha, aha, akha, akha, adda, adda, adha, adha, arra, arra, azza, azza, assa, assa, asha, asha, assa, assa, adda, adda. Don't make hamza heavy. Okay, heavy letters should be heavy, but you will not make hamza heavy. Adda, atta, atta, Allah, Allah, a'a, 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 agha, agha, affa, affa, aqqa, aqqa, akka, akka, alla, alla, amma, amma, anna, anna. Okay, just see, for all the letters the emphasizing was a little, but here to mim and noon the emphasizing with gunna is for 2 haraka. Amma, anna. Okay. Awwa, awwa, aha, aha, a'a, a'a, ayya, ayya. Okay, without tajdeed, how do they sound like? A'a, aba, ata, atha, aja. Now it sounds like a'a, abba, atta, atha. Okay, agha, agha. In this way, the ghain is a heavy letter. Pronounce it heavily. Agha, agha, agha. Alhamdulillah. I hope this is clear. Inshallah, I'll repeat all these things again, and after that we all can decide together. Okay, what is Shaddah? Shaddah means doubling of the letters. Okay, it is also called as Tashdeed or Shaddah. What does that mean? The doubling of the letters. Doubling actually the sounds of a letter, not pronouncing it for 2 times, but the same letter should be emphasized. Okay, the same letter should be pronounced with emphasis, inshallah. Okay, and what is the next thing? The letters carrying this tajdeed sign on it is called as mushaddad. Mim mushaddad, noon mushaddad. Okay, in this way we call it as mushaddad, and the sign is just like a small w. Okay, a small w, it will be always above the letters, alhamdulillah. And in tajdeed, the same letter is present for 2 times. Okay, so that is called as a doubling of the letters. So a letter carrying tashdeed actually means that there are 2 same letters in that single letter. Okay, and that 2 same letters will not be in the same state. Okay, the first letter will be in sakin state and the second letter will be in mutaharrik state, and that mutaharrik letter can be of anything. That mutaharrik letter can be fatha, dhamma, kasra, standing fatha, standing kasra, standing dhamma, inverted dhamma, or that can be tanween, or that can be huruf al-mad. They not huruf al-mad, they can be fatha, dhamma, kasra carrying the huruf al-mad. Okay, that can be anything, but the first letter is always sakin. So that doesn't mean that you'll have to separate those letters. You cannot separate, because now they have already merged and they are in a single letter. So after merging, you cannot just make it separate and recite like abba, arra. This is wrong. Abba, arra. We'll just have to emphasize that without separating those letters, inshallah. No words can start with Tashdeed. If you see in Quran, the word is beginning with Tashdeed. If ayah is beginning with Tashdeed, then you will not recite by emphasizing. Okay, if you see a ayah starting with a word called walahum. Okay, if you see it is starting with walahum and this waw has tajdeed on it, then that doesn't mean you pronounce it like walahum. It is wrong. This tajdeed is actually present on the waw because the ayah which was before this ayah was ending, the previous ayah was ending with the letters which merged in this letter, which got merged in this letter, making it tajdeed. And why that merging happens, inshallah we'll see when we learn noon sakin tanween and meme sakin rulings. Fine, inshallah. But just remember, we cannot start any Arabic word with tajdeed, with a mushaddad huruf. There should be a mutaharrik huruf before it. So and also in the causes of lehn al jali, what we learnt is removing the tajdeed and adding the tajdeed is lehn al jali. So you cannot remove this and you cannot add this, inshallah. Okay, this was all about tajdeed and how to recite it. That also we have seen. And also when the noon and meme carries tajdeed, you'll have to do gunna for 2 count, and that gunna is coming out from a nasal cavity which is called as al khayshum in Arabic. Okay, that al khayshum is a part of makhraj al muqaddar. So for now we have completed all the makharij al huruf, right? First we completed muhaqqaq, then we started muqaddar and we learnt about makhraj al jawf. Then today we completed makhraj al khayshum. Okay, you can see it from this slide, you will understand more better. Okay, see here makhraj al muhaqqaq. In this we learned ashifatan, al halaq and al lisan, right? And today we completed al khayshum. Earlier we had completed al jawf, that is empty space of the mouth, from where we recited huruf al mad. Alhamdulillah. And today we learned the last also, that is called as al khayshum. Okay, alhamdulillah. All these things were makhraj al muhaqqaq and this is makhraj al muqaddar. The meme and noon with gunna, you can see the meme and noon with gunna is recited by nasal cavity, alhamdulillah. Just like we saw that meme and noon with mushaddad is recited by nasal cavity, in same way meme and noon sakin is also recited using nasal cavity, but not all the time. There is a specific rulings for that, inshallah. We'll learn it in the later classes. Okay, so now inshallah I'll recite these words carrying tashdeed, and after that inshallah we all can practice together. Fine. Okay, just see how to emphasize these letters carrying tashdeed when they come in the words. Okay, fine. Now this letter Sad is having tashdeed and also kasra, so the letter with kasra will be stretched only for 1 haraka. Tashdeed is emphasized. Due to tajdeed, will emphasize that letter only for a very little time. Okay, you can say for an half haraka. Okay, as-sirata, as-sirata, sirata, but the qualities of letter won't change. Sad is not recited like C. It is not C, it is si. Okay, as-sirata, rabbu, Rabbu, not Rabbu, Rabbu. Okay, la'allakum, la'allakum. It is not la'alakum, la'alakum, wrong. La'allakum. Just emphasize a little. Yadhakkaru. Now here the 2 letters with tashdeed is in same word. Yadhakkaru, yadhakkaru. Okay. تصدى تصدى تلهى تلهى مكرمة مكرمة فقدر فقدر يسره ثم. When letter meme and noon comes with tashdeed, then make sure to do gunna for 2 count. Okay, Summa. But stretching of meme was done for only 1 haraka because it carried fatha. But now you can see here this noon is carrying alif mad. First you will have to do the gunna for 2 haraka, then stretch the letter noon for 2 haraka. So I can say, just to pronounce this one word you need 5 harakas with you. Okay, 5 haraka. How? For hamza with fatha 1 haraka, For noon with Tashdeed, 2 haraka. For noon with Alif Mad, 2 haraka. Anna. Okay, did you see how much time this took? Anna. Na. 2 haraka because it has Alif Mad there. But here noon is only with fatha. Just give it 2 haraka for gunna, 1 haraka for stretching, 3 haraka. Innaka. Innaka. Okay. Same thing with this meme with Tashdeed and also has fatha on it, carrying alif mad also. So 2 haraka for Tashdeed, that is gunna, 2 haraka for stretching, 1 haraka for this meme with kasra. To pronounce this one word, you need 5 harakas with you. Mimma. Mimma. I hope this is very clear for you now, inshallah. So now let's recite all these alphabets first. Okay, then we'll recite words. You repeat after me, inshallah. A, a, abba, atta, assa, ajja, aha, akha, adda, adha, arra. Okay, this surah, when it has tajdeed, there is a chances of trilling the sifat which we learned while learning raw, right? That we should not exaggerate the letter raw by adding the trilling sifat. Okay, it should not be arra. Okay, arra, azza, assa, asha, assa, adda, atta, adda, a'a. Okay, Ain and Hamza are from very nearer makhraj, and that is why it will be a bit difficult for you to pronounce Hamza and Ain together. If you want to practice Ain with Tajdeed, you take a letter Ba and pronounce Ba'a. Ba'a. Okay, Ghain with Fatha should be heavy. Ghain is always heavy. Agha. Agha. Af. Affa. Aqqa. Aqqa. Akka. Akka. Allah. Okay, now 2 count gunna. Amma. Anna. Awwa. Aha. A'a. Ayya. Okay, excellent. MashaAllah. Barakallah feekum. Now let's recite these words. As-sirata. Rabbu. La'allakum. Yadhakkaru. Tasadda. Talaha. Mukarramatin. Faqaddara. Yassarahu. Thumma. Anna. Innaka. Mimma. Ji, Alhamdulillah, Barakamullahu Feekum. You all recited it very well. Just make sure to recite all the letters by emphasizing and by doing two haraka gunna or mim and noon mushaddad. Okay, Alhamdulillah. If you have any kind of doubts, you can just turn your mics on and ask your doubts, inshallah. Any doubts in these letters? Tomorrow, inshallah, we'll have a revision class because I had already said in the beginning that when we recite huruf with Tajdeed, then the makhraj will be so correct, because here we are emphasizing each letter. We are pronouncing the letters with sakin and mutaharrik both, right? So inshallah tomorrow all of you will inshallah pronounce these letters, read these letters in the class online. Okay, so don't miss tomorrow's class. You will recite this online and I will correct your mistakes of makhraj and also the heavy and light letters and also the sifat of all the other letters inshallah tomorrow. Fine, so make sure that you don't miss tomorrow's class. It will be all about just a revision. You will inshallah recite all the Arabic alphabets with tajdeed inshallah. Okay, fine, alhamdulillah. So Alhamdulillah, barakallahu feekum. So inshallah, let's end the meeting now. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamun ala al-mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan.